Okay. Hello. Hello. Is this live? No sound, Leo. Hello. Is this on? There we go. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Testing. Check, check. Okay. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed the great dinner tonight. So we'd like to open the program tonight by recognizing and saying thank you to our generous sponsors, especially our presenting sponsors, R&B Sales and KWM Gutterman. The event would also not be possible without the hardworking championship event committee. At this time, we'd like to thank these committee members. Thank you for your work. And we'd also like to give a big thank you to the volunteers and the staff of these championships. Thank you for the long hours and your commitment to help make this event the best it can be. You all did a fantastic job. Thank you very much. All right. So as the title of this event indicates, we are here tonight to celebrate many different forms of excellence in our sport. But before we begin, I have a question. What is it that brought everybody here to Denver for this racquetball tournament and to this banquet tonight? Do you still play racquetball? And are you here to compete this weekend? Or maybe you haven't picked up a racket in a number of years and something else brought you to Denver. Speaking for myself, when I heard that this was going to be Jim Heiser's farewell tour and I was going to have the chance to hang out with some of my brothers, I knew I had to be here. And so tonight is all about celebration and nostalgia. It's about honoring racquetball, a sport that's had a major impact on the lives of everyone in this room. And so tonight's also about gratitude to the sport and to the people and to the coaches and to the mentors and the volunteers and the contributors and the competitors and the friends. And in this room tonight are people from all walks of life, all over the United States and many countries from around the world, many races and religions and political affiliations, and sexual orientations. There's even some pickleball players in the crowd tonight. But none of that matters. Because the people in this room identify as racquetball players. Racquetball is our community. And for many in this room, their journey in racquetball began in the 1960s or 1970s. For over 50 years, this is a sport that's defined us. It's what we did after school. It's what we did after work. It's what we did on the weekends. We were obsessed with it. For us, there's no better smell in the world than when you crack open a new can of balls and get that acrid rubber smell. And I think there's no better sound, or more satisfying sound in the world than that sound when a ball hits the front wall. That whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Does that not ring a bell? That's not it. Okay, tough crowd. So tonight, I hope we celebrate, and I hope we remember. Do you remember the first time you picked up a racquetball racket? Was it a YMCA or a JCC or a private club? Did you bang those old black racquetballs against your parents' garage door and then it had to be painted over? You got in trouble for that? I did. What racquetball brands did you play with? Was it Pro-Kennex or Echelon or Birch or Head or Wilson or E-Force or Richcraft? Are there any fans of the Omega racket that are in this room tonight? All right. Did you use a Tachymac grip or a Python grip or the old faux stuck with the faux leather? How many gloves did you hang off of your bag? And was it to dry the gloves, or just you thought it looked cool to have a whole row of racquetball gloves? Tonight I hope that you'll all remember the places of racquetball, your local club, but also your favorite tournament spots. Was it in Riverside, California, or Phoenix, Arizona, or the Mac Club in Oregon, or Fox Hill in Kansas City, or the JCCA in St. Louis, or the Boston Athletic Club, or the Sawmill Athletic Club in Columbus, or Racket Power in Jacksonville, or the Executive in New Hampshire? Did you ever play in the Long Island Open? Did you ever play in the Longhorn Open? Did you ever attend the Olympic Training Center? Do you remember those amazing weekends at the Houston Nationals? The bar at the Hyatt, dinners at Benihana? Did you ever build your racquetball dream house at a Fran Davis racquetball camp? How many times did you attend the U.S. Open in Memphis or Minneapolis? How many times did you win the U.S. Open? Looking at you, Taylor. Was Egan Inouye the first pro that you saw skid the serve? Did you ever see anybody hit a ball flatter than Brett Harnett? Who is Mike Ray? Do you remember the first time you saw Michelle Gilman hit a forehand, and did it scare you a little bit? I know, right? Were you a sponsored player? Was there anything better than getting a box of new gear, new free gear in the mail? Were you an Echelon sponsored player and have your name stenciled on the back of your shirt? I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Did you ever wear an Earth Monster t-shirt or a Courtesy Sports t-shirt? Do you remember Kill Shot magazine? Did you ever get hit so hard with the racquetball that it broke the skin? Did you meet your first wife playing racquetball? Okay, enough of all that. I remember all that stuff. I hope tonight, as we honor the sport and the Hall of Famers in attendance, I hope you have your own memories. So let's get to the program. We are here tonight to honor the best among us, the trailblazers, the people who have shown incredible dedication to our greatest champions. Their careers have motivated us, and their skills have inspired us, and their personalities have charmed us. And their collective accomplishments have dazzled us for decades. So we'd like to start the show by recognizing those Hall of Famers who have taken the time and effort to join us here tonight to celebrate this World Singles and Doubles Championship, as well as honor each other. Okay. So when I call your name, please stand up and give the crowd a wave. This woman is celebrated for her dominance of women's racquetball during the 1980s and was one of the most engaging personalities and kindest people in the sport, Lynn Adams. That's right. That's Lynn Adams. This man is a legend in both amateur and professional play. He played in exactly 4 amateur national singles championships and won exactly 4 titles without losing a single game. He is one of the greatest to ever hail from the state of California, known for his overpowering forehand, Ed Sledge Andrews. This woman couldn't be here tonight, but I know that she's watching on the live stream. With over 60 national and international gold medals on her mantle, she is one of the most decorated amateur players in history, Malia Bailey. Known for her exceptional coaching, mentoring numerous champions, and a lifetime work, Fran Davis. This next individual is known for his long tenure as National Rules Commissioner and was a constant presence at national and international events for decades. He is one of the true leaders of the sport, one of the most prolific contributors that we've ever seen. And he made a special effort to be here tonight. Thank you for being here, Otto Dietrich. This man didn't start the fire, but he's kept it burning for over 50 years as a volunteer. He's also known as having the largest collection of racquetball balls in the world. Racquetball's great historian, Jim Easterling. This man is widely regarded as the greatest doubles player of all time, with 4 national doubles titles, a gold medal at the Pan Am Games, and 3 world doubles titles. He's in the Hall of Fame as a competitor, but he is also one of the greatest leaders and contributors in the sport's history, having run successful tournament series in Ohio, and of course, dreaming up and executing the US Open. Doug Ganem. Uh-oh.
Hold on. Blue screen.
Blue screen. I have to improvise.
Now you can tell stories about him.
Yeah. Okay, we're back. We're back. Okay. This next individual, known for his longevity, incredible reflexes, and his sportsmanship, the inventor of the flip chip serve and a 2-sport legend. Let's skip to Ruben Gonzalez. This man is one of the most ferocious competitors the sport has ever seen. He was a mainstay during the sport's golden era of the 70s and 80s. His forehand was legendary. Hailing from the Show Me State, Jerry Halacia. This man was a local, regional, and national tournament director of over 550 events, the former head of USA Racquetball, and the commissioner of both the men's and women's pro tours, the man responsible for this weekend's events, and a lifetime servant of the sports, Dr. James Heiser. This man is one of the most decorated amateur age group champions in the sport's history. He is also the best player to ever wear the red, white, and blue. having won 7 All-Army titles and 6 All-Armed Force titles. Thank you for your service, Jimmy Lowe. This man is one of the sport's greatest tacticians. He recovered from a near fatal car accident to go on to become the #1 player in the world. He also went on to successfully run the Pro Tour. Jason Menino. A man who needs no introduction, multiple-time junior national champion. Oh, he was also the #1 player in the world 5 times. Sudsy Maciek. This woman is the most accomplished member of one of the most accomplished racquetball families in the sport's history. She is celebrated for incredible longevity and mind-boggling number of singles, doubles, amateur, professional, and international titles. No, you're not seeing double. It's Jackie Perez. This muscle-bound Texan looks like he'd be just as comfortable on a wrestling mat as he was on a 20-by-40 court. He was the player who ended Marty Hogan's reign in 1982 and went on to inspire a generation of pros from the Southwest. Dave Peck. This man is one of the great age group champions and a man of the highest integrity, recent inductee Jeff Stark. One of the sport's most dominant champions in our history, 6-time #1 player in the world, and one of the fiercest competitors you'll ever meet in any walk of life, Cliff Swain. This man is the most decorated coach in the sport's history. He has taught racquetball to thousands over decades of service to the sport. He is the Vince Lombardi of racquetball, Jim Winterton. One of the first dominant champions of racquetball in the late 1970s and early 1980s, she has also gone on to contribute to the sport in myriad ways for decades. While it's not brain science, if it was, we'd be in good shape. Dr. Shannon Wright. This man was one of the first real contributors to the sport, organizing the International Racquetball Association, which is the precursor to USA Racquetball. The inventor of the ceiling ball, Mike Zeidman. Thank you all for being here tonight. We would also like to recognize those Hall of Fame members who are no longer with us. Sadly, we have lost 22 Hall of Famers, some of them this year. So let's please take a moment of silence to remember these legends. Let's take a minute. Thank you. So, Worldwide Racquetball Day. Today, September 6th, is Worldwide Racquetball Day, which fits perfectly with the theme of this event and our celebration of excellence. I'd like to introduce Cindy Tilbury, who will explain the Worldwide Racquetball Day initiative and feature a video that was created by Dr. Jim Heiser.
Okay. At this truly international event, I'm just so excited to wish you a happy Worldwide Racquetball Day. what is that? Why is it happening? We, as a member of the USA Racquetball Membership Committee, we struggle with how to get more members and whatever. And it seems to center around events that are really important. And so I thought, why not come up with a day that everyone is having an event? It doesn't have to be a tournament. It doesn't have to be a, shuttle. It doesn't have to be whatever. It can be anything where people get together. But at the start of the, the winter, fall and winter season, we're going to start right off and do it right. And then I thought, okay, national is great, but our sport is worldwide. So it's time to do Worldwide Racquetball Day. And we started in 2023. And today is the day for 2025. And we're so excited to have you all celebrate here at this amazing event. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
That was great. Okay. Next, we have a special presentation, a controversial presentation. Some months ago, there was an initiative launched to name the top 5 greatest male and female players of all time. These greatest debates are never easy. How do you compare players across different eras with different equipment? Well, there was a committee formed, and after coming up with some objective criteria, they have determined with 100% certainty and accuracy the answer to these questions. And tonight, their findings will be revealed to the world. On the screen, you will see the committee members and the criteria that was used. And I would encourage you after the show to share your opinion with them on these matters. I am not on the committee. So to celebrate the winners, please turn your attention to the screen for a video highlighting these great champions. A very special thank you to Sean Royster for putting this historical video together. It's my pleasure to introduce U.S. national team member Erica Mania, who will present the top 5 female players.
So let's pretend that y'all don't know who the top 5 are right now, and there's still like a lot of anticipation, yeah? So I am very honored to be able to present the top 5 women of our sport. And they're not the only, I'm gonna move this over here, is that okay? You allowed to do that? Sure. Great, thanks. On and off the court, same thing, huh? Okay. But I also want you guys to see that these women have not only done huge accomplishments on the racquetball court, but they have truly shaped and grown our sport, that all of us women, including myself, they've allowed us to reach our dreams. So I just want to take a moment and simply say thank you. Thank you to each of these women that are getting awarded tonight and those that are present, because your accomplishments have influenced the Ladies Professional Racquetball Tour in reaching our dreams, who I'm representing tonight. So seriously, thank you. So to start off, the very first Celebration of Excellence Award goes to a woman who is native to California and dominated the tour in the 1980s, competing for 12 years full-time, always ending first or second. She reached the finals of 72 out of 77 events she's played. She holds 47 career titles, and her win-loss record is 235-30. That's unreal. This athlete was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1997 and continued being recognized into the World Racquetball Hall of Fame in 2017. Everyone, please help me continue to recognize one of the ladies who shaped form our women's racquetball tour, Lynn Adams. Come on up, yeah. Congratulations. And then if you want to just head over there for a photo and then stay up there. Stay up there? Yeah. Lynn Adams. Okay, so now that we talked about Lynn Adams, let's talk about her rival, shall we? These two athletes battled it out on the court for years, but this athlete actually had a different coming into our sport. She actually dominated the squash courts in the 60s and 70s, winning 16 consecutive British Open titles, and then after retiring squash, came to dominate the racquetball tour at the age of 38. She competed for 7 seasons, finishing first in 4 of those, and has the 4th best career win-loss percentage in our tour history with a record of 118-22. Please help me honor the racket queen, Heather McKay. All right, this next athlete, I'm especially honored to present this award to. For not only have I looked up to her, but I've had the pleasure to compete against her. This Mexican athlete is the most decorated athlete in our sport and truly rose the bar for how all of our females in our sport now come and compete. Her accomplishments are simply unreal, starting with junior world championship titles from 2001 to 2008, to her first adult Pan American Championship title at 2006. This girl was 16 years old. To becoming #1 on the LPRT by 2009. Then her dominance hadn't even started yet. Now her dominance begins at 2011, where she did not lose 1 match for 3.5 years. Girl. And this athlete now has won 13 year-end titles, reached 137 of the 163 events she's played in, and truthfully, the athlete that we will all continue to look up to. So please help me celebrate Paola Longoria. Rightfully so. Both amazing. So next up is an athlete that is known for her vicious drive serve and power. Not only is she known for what she has done internationally, but she has 8 US national titles, 6 national doubles titles with 4 different partners, some present here tonight. She dominated our sport in the 90s, winning 7 year-end events of the 9 that she competed in, has a career loss record of 147-9. This is unreal. And then playing 4 seasons without losing a match, going on a 91 match winning streak. Please help me honor Michelle Wolf. And this next and final athlete is from Minnesota, also known for revolutionizing women's racquetball for an aggressive, hard-hitting style of play. Thank you for that. She dominated racquetball through the 70s and 80s. Through her 12-year career, she has 35 professional tournament wins, 7 national championships, and finished year-end #1 4 times. Please help me recognize Shannon Wright.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
It is truly an honor to stand among the best women in our sport. Thank you for setting the standard and the path for us ladies to follow. And we hope we continue to play and represent your legacies with pride. And lastly, we've done it once before, but we can do it again because it's well deserved. Can we please stand and honor the man that made this event happen? He served as US team coach, commissioner of the Ladies Professional Racquetball Tour and the International Racquetball Tour, the only person to do that. He has served as executive director of USA Racquetball and has done more for our sport than any of us will ever be able to truly know and truly acknowledge. Thank you so much to Jim Heiser.
Okay. Next, I'd like to welcome back Jerry Price to introduce the top 5 male players of all time.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? I missed you. I'm back up. When Jim Heiser contacted me and asked me to do the opening prayer to talk about the awards for the top 5 male, he said that we're looking for 2 young pros, and so he settled on Eric and myself to present this. I thought that was very nice of him. Thank you, Jim. Made me feel good. So before I get started here, I just want to first say how awesome of a job that Erica did. That was great. That was really nice. And then really quickly, I wanted to talk about last night. Shannon Wright had such a special event for Dr. Bud, and it was an honor to be there. It's a really special night, so thank you to Shannon. Thank you very much. So These five great players, they won an award tonight, the five greatest men of all time. So they enter a really special club tonight, the five greatest racquetball players of all time. Racquetball was invented 75 years ago, and we are all here with the five best. These champions don't just have tremendous athletic ability and talent, they all have a pinpoint focus on the mental side of racquetball because they have the ability to block out everything else and just concentrate on winning. They have risen to the pinnacle of the sport because of that. They all are very deserving of this incredible award. So the first person I'm going to talk about is Mike Yellen. And when I saw Mike Yellen for the very first time, he just seemed so cool under extreme pressure when I watched him play. And because of that, he seemed like he could take the best shot at the right time. He hit incredible angle passes. They were really amazing to watch. And he wasn't the guy that you wanted to play if you weren't on the top of your game because he could make you look really bad. So Mike competed for 17 seasons. He won 5 consecutive season-ending #1 titles. And we probably all remember this when we saw Mike on the cover of the magazine saying that he was going to sign $1 million contract. I think it said he was the $1 million man. He signed the first $1 million racquetball contract in history. And Mike couldn't be here tonight, but he wants to thank everybody that made this award possible. And I'll accept this award on his behalf. So Mike Yellen. Yes. Okay. I'm going to step away. Yeah. I'm going to see you guys in a minute. Don't knock that. Okay.
Do you want to do it now, Leo? Or
All right. Hello again. How are you guys? We like to do it different the second time. I'm going to put these on. I don't need them. I'm aware of it. Okay, so we're going to go back to, I think Eddie said we're going to go back to Mike Yellen, just say his accomplishments again. So Mike competed for 17 seasons. He won 5 consecutive year-in titles, and he signed racquetball's first $1 million contract in sports history. So that was Mike Yellen. He couldn't be here tonight and wants to thank everybody, and I will accept this award on Mike's behalf. So thank you to Mike Yellen. Okay, next up is Marty Hogan. And when I first started playing professional racquetball, Marty was the #1 player in the world. And the name Marty Hogan was even bigger than the surging sport of racquetball. He was huge. Everyone knew Marty. Marty's incredible power game was responsible for changing a sport from more of a control game into the power game that you see today. He had a big influence on the sport. And Marty competed for 22 seasons. And this next accomplishment, and all these guys, you could go on and on about their accomplishments, but he made 62 consecutive finals, which is amazing to me. The 1976 and 1977 season, Marty won 44 times against only 1 loss. And Marty's win-loss percentage is 84%, 84.5%. Marty, again, could not be here tonight. I talked to him a couple days ago, and he was traveling out of the country, and he wants to thank everybody for this award, and I'll accept this award on his behalf. Marty Hogan. Now, if my adding is right, I have 2 awards tonight, and nobody else has any yet. So that's pretty good. It's not bad. So the rest of the guys are here, so I'm going to stop at 2 awards. So the next guy up is Kane. And I have so much respect for Kane, not just because the incredible accomplishments that I'm going to start reading, but he has studied the history of our great sport. And I think it's so important today because in the last year, we have lost 2 great historians with Dr. Budd and Charlie Brumfield. And he really takes the time to learn about the sport and what it was all about at the beginning. So I really respect him for that. And I want to thank you, Kane, for respecting and showing the players of the past that came before you the respect for being a historian. So thank you, buddy. So Kane has competed for 24 seasons and obviously still going. He holds 16 year-in pro titles. He's achieved 134 match win streak from 2009 to 2012. So 4 years, he never lost a match. And the next one is even, I think, more incredible. He won 113 consecutive games during the 2016-2017 season. So you get up every day and you go to the tournament, and no days did he feel bad. No days did the guys get hot enough to score enough points to win 1 game, which is hard to believe. And also he has the best win-loss percentage of all time at 91.4%. So Kane, can you come up here and get your award?
Thank you, everybody. I just wanted to take a second to just thank everybody that obviously put me in this category. There's been a great deal of great competitors that's come along in our sport, and they really have paved the way for me to be challenged as far as records. Cliff, I remember reading magazines about Cliff and wanting to just be on the court with him, and my dream came true in '96 in Vegas. Sudsy, you know, watched him over and over and over, and Cliff was a little older. I don't mean this in a bad way, Cliff. But Cliff was a little older, so there wasn't too much video on you. You know what I mean? It was more magazines. With all due respect. But no, listen, I want everybody to understand that I am honored to be in this category. Man or woman, it doesn't matter. It takes a certain amount of dedication, a certain amount of sacrifice. And I think that's a word that doesn't really get used a lot when it comes to the greatest players in whatever sport you play. I know that every great athlete in these top 10 people that are here would agree with me that to get to this point, you have to sacrifice a lot. And sometimes the sacrifice doesn't seem worth it. But we're all here because we sacrificed for the thing that we love the most and what we hold to our heart dearest. And so I'm humbled to be in a room with so many great players. I may be considered whatever you want to talk about of my accolades or whatever, but remember, all you guys before me paved the way for me to do and motivate me the way that you guys have. So thank you very much. So the two words that I have is thank you. Man or woman, it doesn't matter. Thank you for everything that you've done for our sport. I appreciate it. It motivates me to be better. I want this sport to be recognized on a world stage. And I'm 43 and I know it hasn't happened, but I'm still going to fight the good fight like we all do, baby. And, you know, um, when I first got into the pro tour, I never saw myself as anyone of a leader. I just wanted to be, I remember I just wanted to win a pro stop. I just wanted to beat somebody that was, in the top 10. And here I sit with everything I've accomplished, and I'm humble. I've had great people in my life to help me along. This doesn't happen just because of me. This happens with the group that you surround yourself with. And so for all you younger people that are looking to be the greatest or the number one player in the world, remember, it's who you surround yourself with. That is the most important thing. There are people that come along that truly want to see you do good for you. And there are people that just want to be along for the ride. And I know that, it sounds horrible, but it is what it is when you breed success. And so I'm humbled to be up here right now. And I felt very compelled to be able to say something. Thank you for everything that everybody has ever done in racquetball before me. I really appreciate it. And it's humbled me and it's motivated me. And so thank you very much for everything. And the last thing that I'm going to say is that there's a man in here that I've had a lot of history with, good and bad. And I feel compelled to thank him, Jim Heiser. We've been through a lot of different things. One thing that connects us is that we're Canadian. Might be the only thing, but it is the one thing. It is the biggest thing. But I've known Heiser for a long, long time. I've been on tour for 24, 25 years now, and I've gotten to know Heiser in a different light than a lot of people here. He's coached against me. He's ran the USRA or helped the USRA. You've done so much for the sport, and our relationship has been so interesting because I've always had a bunch of respect for you and a lot of respect. But you coached Jack back when I played, and But at the end of the day, Heiser, thank you for very much for everything that you have done for racquetball and for me. So thank you very much. I'm going to leave it with this. Racquetball is the best damn sport in the world. And we have the best athletes in the world. And I pray that one day that everybody else, other than in this room, realizes that we have the greatest athletes in the world. Not just great athletes, but great people. And thank you for everybody for coming. And thank you to all the athletes. I appreciate it and paving the way for me. And have a good night and be safe, okay?
That was a nice speech from King. When he was speaking, I was looking out. You're a really good looking crowd. Really good looking. Okay, so we're going to talk about Sudsy Monchek now. Sudsy's best friend, Jason Menino, is in the crowd tonight. And when I mentioned Jason, I also want to mention his dad, Russ Menino, who was like a second father to Sudsy. And I also want to mention Doug Ganem, who gave Sudsy his very first contract, is also in the crowd. And Jason and Sudsy played together as juniors. And Sudsy's first motivation to get better was to beat Jason. And he kept working harder and harder and harder until he was able to accomplish that. And the next one in line was Ruben Gonzalez. And Sudsy worked incredibly hard to try to beat Ruben. And after he achieved that hurdle, he was working incredibly hard to beat Cliff Swain. So I think that Jason and Ruben in Sudsy's life, and Cliff, made him a even better player, even greater than he could have been. So we also want to thank Sudsy's wonderful wife, Veronica, because Veronica got Sudsy to play racquetball again. So he was out of the sport for quite a few years, and Veronica got him moving in the right direction to play again, and we all get to enjoy watching him play now. And I just wanted to say, buddy, that the sport is much better with you around it. So thank you for being here, and thank you for coming back. So Sudsy competed for 14 years on the IRT tour. The last 4, a little bit more sporadic because he had some injuries. But he maintained a winning record against every player in his generation. Incredible accomplishment. He won 5 season-ending #1 spots out of 6 years. Incredible. And Sudsy did retire age 29 or 30 due to injury, and it leaves the lingering question, what if? And in my humble opinion, if Sudsy played longer, he would have won many more stops. He's just an incredible talent. So Sudsy, come on up here and get your award. Yeah, you got it. Take that over there.
This might come to a surprise, but I'm not going to say anything. I just want to say thank you very much. Congrats to everybody that's here. We love you. We love racquetball. We will be back soon. And for the record, Kane, thank you. Cliff, you are older than both Kane and I. So thanks for pointing that out, Kane. And us speaking wasn't part of this, but Highs, thank you. We love you. We'll come back to that also later. So thank you, everybody.
One quick thing about the person that just was up here, Sudsy, and the next person we're going to talk about, Cliff. I had the privilege of performing the ceremony at both of their weddings. And it was wonderful. Really cool. So we're gonna talk about Cliff Swain, one of my very closest friends in the world. And I think all of us probably out there remember the hardest they've ever been hit with a ball. So my buddy, Cliff, hit me in consecutive rallies 2 times, the hardest I've ever been hit. Both of them were in the face.
Been there.
Right in the face. How about that? The 2 hardest times I've ever been hit. So I was dazed like I was in a boxing match. I just was all over the place. He started walking up to me and I thought, hey, my buddy's going to say, oh, Jerry, GP, I'm so sorry. He said, GP, you got to get out of the way. 2 times in the face. That was nice. That was nice of him. Still hasn't apologized. So I know that Sudsy talked about this and Kane talked about this a little bit. I think Cliff personally would have retired earlier, but Sudsy showed up on the tour and he was so good and so talented. I think that it kept Cliff going longer on the tour because he's a competitor. He wanted those battles with Sudsy. And I think when that passed a little bit, Kane showed up and he, thought Kane was, incredible. Matter of fact, I think Kane mentioned the first time they played was in Vegas and they played it was 5 games and Cliff pulled it out 11-8 in the 5th in Vegas. And right after the match, Cliff called me and he said, hey, I just played this match. And he talked about it. He told me who he played. And he said, this guy's different. And obviously you are different, buddy. So he stayed and played, I think maybe longer than he thought he would. And I think it's because of Sudsy and Kane. So on the personal side with Cliff, I mean, he's a great athlete. I've spent a lot of time with him and his family. He is an incredible father, an incredible husband to Tracy. And I love seeing them all together. It's super special to me. And let's talk about some of his accomplishments. Cliff competed on the tour for 35 seasons. It's amazing because it takes a toll on you. He earned 6 year-end Pro Tour titles. And he achieved 71 Pro Tour wins. He has the record for most appearances, most wins, and most matches played. Cliff, come on up and get your award.
So I have been instructed to not give any speeches, but I do have to stand here so that I can be captured on video for the first time in my career. That's it, also, thank you, Jim Heiser. Thanks for running such an amazing event. Super glad to be here. We're going to try to run the U.S. Open in 2026, and hopefully we do it just like you. Thank you.
So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jim. It was a pleasure to be with all of you tonight. It's my favorite crowd in the world, racquetball people. I love being here. I've been doing this. This is my 50th year of playing racquetball tournaments. And I know that's hard to believe because I'm only 30, but 50 years this year. And it's a pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Okay, great. Now I'd like to ask Jerry Holasher to join us on stage to present a special award. Come on up, Jerry.
Am I supposed to talk? What am I supposed to do up here? Video? Roll it.
Love to compete. Why? What drives Charles Banquet to compete the way you competed all your life? I'm sorry to say it's not pure motive. It's to get even with them. And you can put in whatever you want. And I want to get even. Why? Because of what I faced or perceived that I was facing as a youngster. With a military father who said there's honey dogs and kennel dogs, and you, Charlie, are a kennel dog. And being in school, being missed by all the kids, and having all the pretty girls talking about all the girls. Somebody's going to when it's my time, I know you take a new suit for me and buy a new tie. So I love this good. Boy, you wrote that. You said only the good ones die young. They're right in my life. And I love this good. Everyone welcome to my world. Everyone welcome me. Praise me. You know I will open up. Good the way I should. You're all on my side. Was in the sport, always see on me, and don't be so sad. Cause I live this good. We won't go sad. You're so good. I see you and I love you. I want To me, there's no doubt about that. Marty Hogan, who's been a lifelong friend, had indicated that to him, I was the best competitor in the history of racquetball. And I texted him later, thanking him for all the accolades, and he took some poetic license and saying that I was just, the best racquetball player and what have you. But what I wrote back to him is I said, I was watching you in Swain today to pick up some extra tips for our first match in the afterlife.
I was asked by Jim Heiser to speak on Charlie's behalf. And I don't know if that was a good thing or bad thing, because other than my friend Mike Zeitman over here, we're the only ones playing with him in the prime on the pro tour. So kind of tells a little bit about our age. But I got to say, thankfully, and Kane talked about this, about the players before him, I'm so privileged to have been part of racquetball since the beginning. My first time I saw Charlie was in 1969 at the first national championship in St. Louis. St. Louis JCCA was home of Marty Hogan, myself, Steve Surratt, all number ones at one point. And there were 5 or 6 other top 12 players: Ben Colton, Andy and David Gross, Doug Cohen, Jerry Zuckerman. So I got to be part of an incredible time in racquetball. And when I look at Charlie, one word sticks out, and that's passion. He was one of the most passionate people I know. And not just passionate on the court. And unfortunately, most of you never saw him play because it was in the early years. Unless you're close to my age, you wouldn't have seen that. But he was relentless every point. He was the toughest competitor to beat at match point of anybody ever played. I knew it was going to be a battle. And good or bad, he had many edges, I call it. People laughing, no. But again, it was passion. And he didn't do anything unless it was 100%. 2 weeks ago, I went to San Diego and part of the celebration of life for him. And I got to hear stories about his life. And thankfully, I was there because I knew him as a competitor in racquetball. I didn't know about him in life. He was he was religious. He was an attorney. I heard stories about him as an attorney studying in the library for hours before a case because he would not lose no matter what, whether it was law, whether it was racquetball. In '69, I remember him playing in the semifinals, and he's playing a St. Louis guy, and not a guy a little older, much older than me, back when they were playing paddles. And Steve Schneider killed Charlie the first game. Second game, Steve Schneider was up, and we're playing 21 points. He was up about 10-5. And all of a sudden, Charlie supposedly pulls a muscle, and off the court he goes. Well, the St. Louis JCCA had a health club upstairs, not close to the main court. And I remember walking up to the health club about 20 minutes after this supposed injury timeout. And he's sitting there laughing and cajoling with about 30 different members. And finally, the referee comes up looking for him, walks into the health club, and says, "What the hell are you doing here? Get on the court." And he's just having a blast. He gets on the court and kills the guy because Schneider was so angry, waiting 30 minutes while this fake injury was happening. And then he ended up losing to Bud Muehlheisen in that first, in the finals. That was my first experience of Charlie. I talk about passion. Passion, if you ever watched, yes, it was on TV, 1981, when I was playing Hogan and Yellen in the CPC championships, him as being an announcer. He should have been put in jail for some of the things he said on TV. But back then, he got by with it. He just had a personality. And I got to say that if you were around Charlie, many of you had at one point or another, he loved people, he loved being around people, and he loved promoting racquetball. And finally, I want to talk about his why. And I saw this interview that he did with that you saw on the screen. And at first I saw it and I said, that's BS. How can that be anybody's why? He talked about his father looking down at him and talking about him being a kennel dog. He talked about women not thinking he was attractive. Saw those pictures. I mean, they were probably right. I mean, come on. The guy was a skinny rail, and that's why I had to grow a beard to cover the face. And he talked about the athletes making fun of him. And I put a lot of thought into that, of the why. That was his why, and it was real for him. And it made him an amazing competitor. I didn't agree with it. I didn't agree with the why, but that was his why. And it made me think, what was my why? What did I push for? What kept me going? And I'm going to put this out there for all of you, especially the young folks here. What's your why? Why do you do this? As we talked about, some of the greatest athletes talked about the dedication it takes, what you have to persevere. The why has to be strong enough to get you through that. So all of you, find your why. My why, after I saw this video and put thought to it, I was playing for the sport. When I became number one, it was because we were going through a difficult time in the sport, and I felt that I was playing for the success of keeping the sport going. That was my why. What's your why?
Next, I'd like to introduce the award for the greatest contributor of all time. On the screen is a video that was created by C47 Content Lab.
He was known as the White Knight, a gentleman on the court, a giant of grace, but more than any other title or trophy, and to all who knew him, he is simply Dr. Bud, a pioneer, a champion, a teacher, a model of integrity and humility, the father of our sport. He was a friend, a mentor, a father, an inspiring athlete, the White Knight of sportsmanship. For his gentleness and signature shot, his good friend, doubles partner and protege, Charlie Brumfield affectionately dubs him Fugly. And however you wish to remember him, and in every circuit and every match play, make his legacy live forever. The sunshine of San Diego raised him, but it was discipline that put his way. Music and sports shaped his youth. Clarinet, piano, and a list of performances. He grew up a stone's throw from the San Diego Zoo, where, as a young teen, on the nearby courts of that old park, he played tennis with future Wimbledon champion Maureen Conley. At age 18, Dr. Bud won the San Diego City Tennis Championship. That taste of victory stayed with him. So much so that even after being accepted to UC Berkeley on a baseball scholarship, the racket kept calling. Soon he was back on the tennis court. His talent undeniable as the university's coaching staff took notice. Then came military service, where he claimed the U.S. Navy badminton championship and played with the U.S. Navy tennis team. Dr. Bud made excellence look effortless, yet behind it all was his quiet grit, his finesse, and his endless quest for perfection. He lived a full life, graduated dental school, married twice, became a loving father of 5 children, and an associate in his father's dental practice, where his mom, the office manager, gave him the nickname we honor to this day, Dr. Bud. But throughout it all, in every chance, drawn to the fast pace and no strategy or paddle ball, he snuck off to the courts. and true to his form, he quickly mastered the sport. At the age of 37, after capturing 4 national titles, he pivoted to win the first national racquetball championship in 1969, defeating his longtime friend and protege, Charlie Banquet. All part of a career that led to winning 41 national titles and age division championships. Dr. Bud was more than a player. He was an innovator. He helped design the first aluminum racket for Echelon, wrote the rules of racquetball, coached the first USA racquetball team, and played a significant role in bringing racquetball to its zenith of 16 million players in the 1980s. An early leader in the evolution of piano court construction, racquetball was way more than a game to Dr. Budd. It was his passion, his business, his life. Through countless articles, clinics, personal appearances, and coaching, Dr. Budd contributed to the popularity of racquetball in the U.S. and Europe. His commitment to the game, his care for others, and his never-ending work ethic continued well into his 90s. All in all, Dr. Budd won championships in tennis, badminton, paddleball, and racquetball. He was the first person inducted into the Racquetball Hall of Fame, elected to the San Diego Hall of Champions, recognized by the World Outdoor Racquetball Hall of Fame, and honored every year by the USA Racquetball Association's Bud Muehlisen Age Group Award. In memory of our good friend, the White Knight, Fudley, the Mule, the father of racquetball, we will be ever thankful to remember you. For in the passion, dedication, and skill you shared with us, and in every ceiling, inch, and half shot made, let us remember the one and only Dr. Bud. Thank you. You are more than just a developer of the game we love. You are a living presence in all our hearts.
Like Shannon Wright to come to the stage. I'd like to present her with this award. Shannon Wright.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I wanted to say that video really, it brought me to tears, and I want to tell you a little bit about how this story kind of transpired. In 2 days, it will be the anniversary of Dr. Budd's passing, and it was a beautiful passing, and we had been sweethearts for the last 10 years. And I want to recognize Doug Gannum, because you remember when we put on the Charlie Brumfield tribute in 2013? That was the year that there was a spark that developed between Dr. Budd and me. And by the 2014 US Open, we had kind of developed our romance, and he came to live with me at the end of 2014, and I got to spend the last 10 years of his life with him. And he was just a wonderful man. He was kind. His heart was so big. He loved people so much. I'm so sorry. But I wanted to say that this movie, we started working on this project a year ago. They told us that at this tournament, they were going to do a tribute to Dr. Budd. And so I want to say thank you to Chelsea George for being with me for almost the whole year. She helped put a lot of this together. And then there was an incredible story that happened about 3.5 months ago. I get a call out of the blue from a young man that was my racquetball student back at the Las Vegas Sporting House 45 years ago. And this is Richard Radstone, and he was the one who created this beautiful movie for us. And I want to thank him so much. I want to thank my Minnesota friends and family and Dr. Budd's family. Dr. Budd's great-granddaughter, Ariana, is with us tonight, and some distant cousins who live right in this area. We want to thank you for coming tonight. And this has just been, a wonderful experience for me. And to be able to have spent the last 10 years of his life with this amazing man who, changed so many people's lives. Everybody that I talked to said that, when they came in contact with him, that they made him, he made them a better person. And, I just can't tell you, how giving he was, how much he loved the sport of racquetball. And he was a wonderful man, and he had an incredible sense of humor. He loved his partner, Charlie Brumfield, and they were really a Mutt and Jeff team. And it was a very, very funny relationship, but they stayed in contact, down through the years, the whole time. And I was in touch with Charlie all the way through his passing practically. And I think that I was very fortunate. I think I talked to him just about 3 days before he died. And, he was kind of out of it. And we were talking, and I was just saying a few things, and he'd say, yeah, yeah. And I said, well, Charlie, I don't know how you feel about, spirituality and what you think, happens to you after you die. But I can promise you, Dr. Budd will be there ready for you to be on the court when you make the transition. And so that was the last thing that I said to him. And, those two were just two wonderful people, and they were, just pillars of our sport. And we lost, lost both of them this year, but we were so lucky to have them in our lives. And thank you so much for, this is a really special night for me because I've never been honored at the same time Dr. Budd gets honored, and it's a pretty big deal. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We're almost there. I'd like to ask Doug Ganem to join me on the stage.
It's a nice coat.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. It's getting late. I'm going to try to do this quick. I have been away from the sport for about 3 years now. I've been very busy putting on weight and getting a new titanium hip. But I've missed it. And I flew in today. It's been great to see so many old friends and legends of racquetball. But if I'm being totally honest, I really only came here for one reason. And I came here to honor my good friend, Jim Heiser, and the incredible career that he has put together for all of our benefit in racquetball. I'm going to take you back real quick. I was an 18-year-old boy in the state of Ohio. Ohio is a hotbed for racquetball, like many of the states in the Midwest. And Jim Heiser was running a series of tournaments up in Michigan called the Michigan Super 7. It was about one tournament a month during the racquetball season from September to May. And many Ohio players would go up and attend all these tournaments that he ran. They were the best tournaments in the Midwest, probably some of the best tournaments in the country. He ran a pro stop as part of that series, the Bud Light, I think it was called the Bud Light Open. And it was an incredible event. It made a huge impact on me when I was a teenager. Anyway, back then, there wasn't 95 divisions in a racquetball tournament like there are now. Just a ho-hum tournament would get 400 players, and they'd all be packed into 12 divisions. So I'd show up at these things, and there'd be 67 guys in the men's open and 52 teams in the open doubles. And we'd be playing around the clock for 3 days. And I was one of the better players at the time in the Midwest, and I would win a lot of these Michigan Super 7 events. And I remember sometime around 18, maybe early age 19, I remember walking up to the tournament desk on Sunday. Of course, Heiser put the semis and finals of singles and doubles on Sunday. I later taught him to put the doubles finals on Saturday night, but back then he was half retarded and he ran them all on Sunday. And of course, those are the hardest matches, the semis and final, but that's another story. So anyway, here I come walking up to the tournament desk. It's 4 p.m. I'm bleeding everywhere. I got 9 ball marks on me and I'm limping up to the desk and I got a 5-hour ride home back to Ohio. And, I said, yeah, I won singles and doubles, and he'd scratch me out a check for the $1,300 after I played 14 matches in 3 days. And then he reaches under the tournament desk. Everybody's gone. There's nobody left at the end of the tournament except the guy who won because he wants his money. And everybody's gone, and there I am. And he's scratching me out a check, and he's half packed up, ready to go because he's ready to go home. And he reaches under the table, and he pulls out a wheelbarrow full of cash. And he takes it out to his car from running this tournament. And I'm bleeding, and I'm bruising, and I got $1,200 that he scratched out. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I said, how much money are you making running these tournaments? He goes, well, they're pretty profitable. We're fortunate. We got a lot of sponsors, and there's 95 sponsor banners hanging up. And I'm like, well, what am I doing playing? How did I run tournaments? And I go, this is ridiculous. I said, will you show me how to do this? And he goes, well, under one condition. And I said, well, what's that? He said, you're going to run these tournaments in Ohio, right? I go, yeah, I'm going to run them in Ohio. He said, you don't run them on my weekends. The weekends I have Michigan Super 7 events. I said, absolutely not. I'll do it 2 weeks apart. You run an event. 2 weeks later, I'll run one in Ohio. 2 weeks later, we'll all come back to Michigan. We'll promote each other's events, And he said, okay, deal. And he taught me how to do it. He taught me how to run racquetball tournaments. How many people in this room have attended the US Open Racquetball Championships? Raise your hand. Keep your hand up if some of the best memories that you have in racquetball were made in Memphis, Tennessee, or Minneapolis at the US Open. Pretty similar number of hands. Every one of you owe Jim Heiser for all those memories. The US Open would have never happened if he hadn't taught an 18-year-old Doug Ganem how to run a racquetball tournament. And when I did learn how to run tournaments and ran my series in Ohio and then started the US Open, when I had the idea for the US Open, the first person I called was Jim Heiser. And he went with me and toured around the country to try to find a site. And together, we founded the first US Open in Memphis. And most people don't know how involved Heiser was in the founding of the US Open, but he was critical, absolutely critical, and he was there all 25 years that I ran the event. A lot of the pros, you got Kane over there with 97 US Open titles, and Paola Longoria and all her titles, Sudsy and Cliff and Jason Menino. 4 times a week he texts me to tell me, did you know I won 2 US Open? Yeah, Jason, I know you won 2 US Open. Many of these pros define their careers by how many US Open titles they won. You would have none of those titles, none of those memories, none of those accomplishments if it hadn't been for Jim Heiser teaching me how to run a racquetball tournament. So my dear friend, congratulations on an incredible career. And all the people like me, because I know I'm not the only one, I know it. All the people that you changed their lives, and you definitely changed mine. And that's why I got on an airplane today and flew out here. God bless, and the next chapter of your life, I know it's going to be great. Thank you.
Dr. Jim Heiser, as Heis, I'll just say one more time, thank you. Doug's clearly correct on, you've impacted many of us. And I know we got to get moving, otherwise we'll be here for a long time. And you actually said, please don't go long. So thank you. The reason I'm up here now towards the end is to make a very much needed, exciting announcement about racquetball. Heis, you did this event. We've talked about it. I see legends. I see icons. I see relationships. I see incredible players, athletes. But people ask all the time, we talk about it, what's the best thing about racquetball? To me, it's the relationships. It's all of you. It's given us the greatest things in life. Some of us, I think it's maybe taken a little bit, but it's certainly given us all of the greatest things in life. And forgive me, I can't see with this light in my eyes, so I'm trying to make eye contact with some of you. Veronica. Racquetball gave me Veronica. And it's made me a better human, and I try to do that every day. But we have people here that weren't recognized, and I think it's important to be recognized when you're doing something different. And before I get to the big announcement, I just want to honor a friend of ours, also Kane, and tell you a quick story, true story. I don't know if you know this or not, but Cliff and I weren't very friendly when we were competing against each other. Didn't really have much time for each other. Didn't really talk much. It was, let's play. Let's see what happens. Jason, on the other hand, is a brother. And he was my toughest opponent to play because of that. But I'll never forget this. We're in Chicago. And Cliff's, I think you were there, just like 10 feet away, and he's actually watching a match. And we have this pro stop. And he says, hey. Well, he doesn't say hey. Probably didn't talk to me, right? You probably didn't use words there. No, it's probably a hand gesture. He made eye contact with me, and he went, but being the elder, Kane, I answered. I went over, yeah. So I walked over, and I'm all excited, like he's going to show me something cool, right? And he's standing there with the Cliff Swain face that we all know, just not looking very nice and cuddly, not like a soft teddy bear. And there's this kid on the court that he's watching. Lefty, clearly athletic. Hits the you-know-what out of the ball. Can't say it because my kids, Jules and Mateo, are watching. And he goes, just like this. Cliff looks at me. He's probably within touching distance. I was afraid of getting punched in the face. But all he said to me was, what do you think? Just like that. I was still shocked. Like, as I'm walking over to Cliff, I was like, where's Jay? Does he have my back? When he said that, he was dead serious. And I watched Kane at the time, his baggy Echelon clothes. Probably wasn't thinking nice things about you. Like, those were 9-inch shorts, by the way. Yeah, they looked like 11. And I said, Cliff, you remember what I said, right? I looked at you and I said, 3 points it took. I said, he reminds me of us. Talking about, obviously, Cliff, Jason, Ellie, Doyle, a bunch of other guys that have played in that era. And all Cliff did was look at me and go, point is, sometimes it's just different. And enjoy that. And I think with Paola and Kane here, you're seeing something different. And because of that, Heiser, you've been talking a lot of, like, you're done, right? This is it. We're not doing this again. Anybody like that? Does anybody like the fact that this is not going to happen again? Anyone? No? Okay. Would you like it to happen again? So believe it or not, there's this guy named Keith Miner that today said, let's do it. Looked at me, I looked at him, I said, well, if you're saying that, I kind of feel obligated to do it. So what we're going to do is we are going to continue this event. There will be a lot more details to follow, but the KWM World Singles and Doubles Championships presented by Frank Hotels is going to continue, and that is fantastic news for racquetball. Keith did not want to lose another event. This was important, and he's making sure it happens. So Keith, thank you. We expect to see every one of you at the event. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to make sure we continue Jim Heiser's legacy. So we will see you again at the KWM World Singles and Doubles Championships presented by Frank Hotels, and you'll get all the details soon. So thank you, everyone. See you soon.
Okay. That's exciting news. So before we conclude, we would like actually after we conclude, we'd like all of the Hall of Famers to please come up to the front, and we're going to get a group photo. But anyway, this has been a great evening. I've had a great time. I hope everybody's had a great time and enjoyed celebrating each other and all of our champions in our sports. Thank you all, and good night.
Great job. So what's going on? Still breaking in the cash, bang away. Banquet. It's so crazy. It's all free. It's free. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Hey, all Hall of Famers that are still in the house, we need you up front. Jim Heiser needs you right here where the lights are. Any Hall of Famers, award recipients, up front, please.
I haven't seen one.
Hold on, we've got a microphone. Hey, everybody, thanks for sticking around for the live. We're going to move this mic over for y'all so y'all can hear. Just to end it.
I gotta know this. I'm gonna keep doing it. I gotta be part of this.
Yeah, it was still live.
Sorry,
You can just close it out. Just like close the window. No, you got to close it out. Like in the whole screen. Excuse me.
Yes.
Can I put a microphone on you? You got a microphone on you. Watch out.
Okay, is this
What's this for? What?
Sachi. No, she's not in the Hall of Fame. Okay, Sachi. Sachi, you're a Hall of Famer. You're in a Hall of Famer. Hey, Jim, where'd you want Sachi? You're in.
See what we usually do in the UST? Right here. You don't want to like more chairs.
Okay. Okay, guys, come on in. Let's see.
You know, it's good that he's almost a tyrant. Because he'd never get it done otherwise. Yeah. Oh, hi. You know, he gave me this, John Faust gave me a picture yesterday of the 1983 Nationals. I was playing to win and I lost by the 1 point. It was the best action photo of me ever. And in the background behind the glass was Penny Stedding and Dr. Bud. It was unreal.
Mr. Easterly, have a seat. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Have a seat. Have a seat. Hey, John, can I do this? John, what are you doing? Say no. You know what? We will do one funny one at the end. Okay, everybody, look here. Let me just get a good. Nope, sun's up. What do you want? Let's come up a little further. Come in here. Okay. You know what, Shannon?
Yes.
Put your award down time together. Turn like the right way. There you go. Okay, and Glenn, kind of angle that door. No, stand up. No, stand up. Okay. Okay. Everybody look here. Is there 19 people here? Should be 19. That's a good price. Count, is there 19? He's not ready. Okay, thumbs down. Okay, here we go. Count of 3.
Who are we looking at?
I got camera.
No, I'm not the only one.
Here's the boss. Here's the boss. Look this way. Ready? 1, 2. Stay good. Stay there. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Couple more. Okay, one more. Support. Okay, here we go. Okay, here's the deal. Everybody's got a good picture, right? So on the count of 3, within reason. What's up, Brad?
Uh-oh.
Are you ready for this?
And. Oh, that's cute.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
I
you
can handle that.
can do that.
I didn't do anything.
Thank you. Sorry. I want to thank everybody for coming. I have a Hall of Fame poster with all our pictures on it for everybody.
Thanks, Jim.
Pick up one, and I got a bag of goodies from the tournament for everybody. Thank you for coming. And the poster's outstanding. It's outstanding.
Wow, this is pretty nice. Very nice. Jim, thanks for everything.
Oh, you're welcome.
I don't know if I'll see you again, so just thank you for everything. You know, we'll probably run across each other. This is a beautiful coat, by the way.
Thank you.
Did you pick it out of your wife yet?
I picked this out because I knew this was going to be in August. Okay, so summer, I'm getting a white coat for summertime. So I picked this out before this, thinking it was going to be in August or July.
It's very nice. Very nice.
He's got it.
You're going to
Thank
love this
you.
poster. You're going to love this poster. I think it's outstanding. I'm biased. It's
Hey,
outstanding.
Chelsea. No, I didn't get one yet.
Big one.
Was it fun tonight? Didn't you love it?
Oh my
It was great. It was great.
Yes.
Thank you for your text.
Thank you for all your knowledge.
Dave, I love you.
I love you too.
Might not see you for a while.
Yeah, let's stay in touch, okay? Well done. Well done. Today we'll go with Richard.
Yeah, boy, he was just a jewel.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron. You're going to take both of those?
But I can take one.
Take that one.
She's going to give you everything.
Oh, Dave, this is my little sister, Aaron.
Last night.
Yeah, try to.
Okay, yes. Aaron, I've known Dave since he was we've known him since we were teenagers.
Wow.
And do you remember when we went down to Nautilus in Florida, DeLand, Florida?
Right.
Dave and I were down there a month together.
What's that little thing on you?
A microphone, a hot mic.
Yeah. And that's who she was training, and my brother Greg, we went down there and kicked our butts like crazy. Which is great, because it made us better.
Made you better.
That's right. It made us a lot better.
You got to get going.
I'm going to get going. So nice to meet you. Thank you so much. A wonderful event and a great ceremony.
Did you learn something that you're great at? Well, I would love to stay in touch
My
with
dad
your
had good
parts.
stories too, and I just asked. I have so many things I wanted to ask you.
Think about that with the thought.
I know, it's terrible.
Janelle.
Okay. We'll have to get together.
We'll get together, and I'm going to stay in touch with your boys, too.
Yeah, and we just traded numbers with our.
I love your head.
We traded numbers with Ariana, so we're all connected up there.
Great.
Stay in touch
She
with
is
her.
such a sweetheart, and she's got 4 little brothers and sisters that just, eventually would love to make connection with more family. And, the rest of Dr. Butt's kind of immediate family has been dysfunctional. And
That's what she
they
said.
just can't do it, but they love family. And her mother, who is Dr. Bud's granddaughter, Kara, she's a nice lady too. And so I've been very supportive of them.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So I've stayed in
That was fun. Yeah, we got tried to trace numbers and then Riley had to slip out.
Okay, well, tell him
But
hi.
he wanted me to make sure he said thank you so much. He really
Thank you.
everybody was moved by the whole event. So so cool.
It was a wonderful thing. I've been planning this for a year now.
I know, that's what
And you know what?
said.
I'm so tired. I'm going to sleep so well tonight. I'm glad I don't have to drive anywhere tonight. Yeah, just up on the second floor. Well, you guys have a safe drive back.
Awesome. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You too.
It was nice to meet you.
You're lovely too. Thank you.
You're lovely.
Excuse me.
I don't send you my info by email, okay? All right, thank you.
You're a very good looking young man.
Very good
Oh,
looking.
we get to cross paths.
I think we will.
Did you get a picture with Paula yet? I have